Hi, everyone. Hi. My name is Maggie, and I am coming to you live today. Thank you so much for inviting me to the summit. I am very excited, super honored to have been asked to speak on this summit, and I know that I have a limited time, so I'm going to stick to my subject. Good morning, Maria. I am going to be talking about expanding your comfort zone and how that relates to everything that we do, either in our personal lives or on a business level. So let me start by saying that hi, Jessica, and hi, Janisa. I actually, one of the things that I love doing the most is doing this kind of training, and I do a lot of this for my team. I'm actually a coach on the side, which become actually much more than just on the side. But I like to talk to my athletes about the mental training that it requires for you to achieve your goals at a much higher level. So I talk to my team about this constantly, about how important it is that we have a set of goals that we want to achieve. However, I want you to think about two things that are very crucial in order for you to see what you have in front of you and then where you're trying to go. So let's talk about the difference between having a plate and having a comfort zone. So everybody says, okay, well, I have a plate and my plate is full. Usually people say that, right? When they want to do or not do the business or whatever the opportunity that you're offering to them, they say my plate is full. My response to that is always get a bigger plate because life is full of adventures and there's so much for you to earn and learn and do that you need to get a bigger plate. And when people say plate, I always think about rigidity, right? What happens if the plate breaks, right? I mean, don't you think? I mean, I want to actually get a plastic plate that expands, right? I want to get one that, if I can put it on the dishwasher, it's not going to bend, right? And that if I bang it and it drops on the ground, nothing's going to happen. I'm going to want to get a bigger plate in order for me to expand, right? And what I want you to think of when you think about a plate, I want you to think about the things that you currently have to do and that are necessary for you to run your business, run your household, your family, all of that good stuff, right? But I want you to think about your comfort zone in a way where it's not a plate, so it's not rigid, okay? It's not rigid. Your comfort zone should be something that is flexible, that you can actually expand. So I like to think of it as pizza dough. Okay, so you start with a little, pizza dough, right, like this, and this is what you think you're going to achieve. This is where you're going to be goal setting, right? I'm going to be doing this activity, that activity. I'm going to be doing, what I think I can do, right? That this is what I think I can do, right? And anytime that somebody says, and I want you to start thinking about comfort zone as something that is malleable, okay? As malleable and as growable as your brain and your knowledge, okay? Your comfort zone should be that place where when you start doing really hard things on a daily basis, but small little changes on a daily basis, your comfort zone starts expanding. So what do I mean by having a comfort zone that, getting out of your comfort zone, and I don't like to use that, is because when you get out, you immediately try to get back in. Okay, I don't want you to use that terminology anymore, getting out of my comfort zone. Use the terminology, I am expanding my comfort zone, because what happens is when you expand it, the things that were hard to do at the beginning will no longer be hard at some point in time. So let me give you a wonderful example. When I bought my first pair of running shoes, my goal was to go from point A to point B without passing out, right? And I thought it was, that was the coolest thing, that I was actually able to run, 20 minutes without stopping. Did I ever think that by buying my first pair of shoes and going out for a run and doing it again and then meeting out a group of people that do the same thing and finishing my first 5K, and then I am now to the point where I'm about to become the first female okay, Ecuadorian, because that's where I'm originally from, who will have completed the 6 world marathon majors. So think about what happened when I expanded my comfort zone, when I started doing the things that were uncomfortable to me, going out there and doing the things, but I didn't set out to do these wonderful things. I set out to do one thing, which was put on my running shoes on a daily basis. So that's what I want you to think about when you're trying to expand your comfort zone. I want you to start thinking of it as pizza dough. The more things that you do that will get you to learn, to expand as a person, as uncomfortable as they might be, will be able to help you expand that comfort zone. And all of a sudden, the things that you thought were not normal will be normal to you at some point in time. So let me tell you one more thing about expanding your comfort zone. It is all about identification. Just like I tell my athletes, just like I tell my team, identify yourself with who you want to be and use words such as I am. The moment that you start using active words, words of visualization, words of, of creation, creating your life, the moment that you visualize and identify yourself, all of a sudden, all of those words belong in that comfort zone, which is going to be expanded. And all of a sudden, you will identify with, I am an entrepreneur. I am the best mom. I am the greatest salesman in my team, sales girl in my team. I am whatever you want to be, you are right. And if you keep on telling yourself the stories of, well, it's never worked for me, or it's really hard to lose weight, or it's really hard to reach out to people, I don't know, the moment that you start saying things like that, that will become your present existence. So start saying things that will make that comfort zone malleable, right? Because our beautiful brains, our neuroplasticity allows us to grow on a daily basis, to grow every single day with small little goals. Again, putting on your running shoes, right? Making sure that you have your water filled because you want to drink more water, or just making sure that you have that list of clients that you don't have to call 100 a day, but you know that you will be following up through. And if you do 3 calls, don't forget to reward yourself with victorious praises towards yourself, because there's no one else that's going to do that for you but yourself. So if you've hired yourself, if you're an entrepreneur, make sure that you're recognizing yourself on a daily basis for doing the things that you're supposed to do, right? Doing the things that you're supposed to do, but doing them right. And once you got that right, once you do them right, the 3 things, the 4 things, the 5 things that you got to do, and you do them right, okay, every single time, and you do them, and you said, I'm gonna fixate, I'm gonna focus, laser focus, Monday through Friday or through Saturday or whenever is it that you work, do them, and reward and recognize yourself for the wonderful work that you're doing. You're changing your world. When you change your world, you affect people around you. And when you change those around you, you're affecting my world. So thank you. Okay, and that's all I have to say to you. I hope that you've gotten good feedback from this little chat, and I really appreciate everybody who's joined me today. And again, thank you so much, Amy, for including me in this e-summit. I am so honored, so blessed. You guys have a wonderful day. Happy Hump Day, and have an incredible 2020, the best decade yet. Good luck to everybody. Bye.